I knew something was wrong long before I found the proof. A woman always does. We tell ourselves we're imagining things, that we're being paranoid, that marriage is hard, and we should be grateful for what we have. But the body knows. The body feels the distance before the mind admits it's there. His name was David, and for 10 years, he was my home. We met when I was 25, young and foolish, and sure I knew what love was. He showed me I didn't. He showed me that love could be quiet mornings and shared tea and a child who looked like both of us. We built a life together, David and me and our son Leo, who is 7 now and still believed the world was safe. I believed that too once. Then, over the course of 3 or 4 months, something shifted. It wasn't dramatic. There was no fight, no slam door, no confession. He just retreated. He started coming home later, long after dinner was cold. He'd eat in silence, watching television without really seeing it, then fall asleep on the couch. Weekends, which had once been for parks and pancakes and lazy afternoons, became filled with meetings he'd never mentioned, golf games he'd never cared about, hours locked in his home office. I asked him once what he was working on that required so much time. He said he was busy, that he couldn't trust anyone else to handle things. When I offered to help, the way I used to when we were first married and everything we did was together, he said no. Too complicated. Too much pressure. I should focus on Leo. The Turkish tea ritual stopped. That was the hardest part in some ways. Every evening after Leo was in bed, we'd sit on the balcony with small glasses of dark tea and we'd talk. About our days, our dreams, our fears. About nothing at all. That tea was the bridge between us, and when it disappeared, I felt the distance like a physical thing. I told him I needed to find myself again, and I couldn't do that here, in this house full of silence. I took Leo to my mother's house. I didn't say goodbye. He called, of course. He texted. He said he was sorry, really sorry, that he'd been stupid and blind and he'd change, he'd prove it. After a week, I came home. Leo deserved his father. I deserved my marriage. I wanted to believe. A week later, I found the message. David had left his phone on the kitchen counter while he showered. I wasn't looking for anything. I was clearing the table and the screen lit up. A woman's name. A message that began with, "I miss you too." I stood there, holding a dirty plate, staring at those 4 words. And in that moment, everything made sense. The distance. The silence. The locked office. The woman whose name I didn't recognize, but whose words I understood completely. I didn't wake him. I didn't scream. I put the plate down, left the phone where it was, and went to check on Leo. He was sleeping, his small face peaceful, still believing the world was safe. I sat beside him and cried without making a sound. The next day, I waited. I made breakfast, took Leo to school, did the laundry. I wanted to see if David would say anything, if he'd confess, if he'd give me some reason to believe the message meant nothing. He didn't. He came home, ate dinner, retreated to his office. That night, after Leo was asleep, I walked into the living room where David sat with his phone. I sat down across from him, the way I had weeks ago when I'd asked if he still loved me. "I saw the message," I said. He looked up. His face didn't change. He didn't deny it, didn't explain, didn't fight. He just looked at me, and in his eyes I saw something I'd never seen before, relief. Like he'd been waiting for this moment, dreading it, and now that it was here, he could finally stop pretending. "I'm sorry," he said. That was all. 3 years of marriage, 10 years together, a son, a life, 1,000 cups of tea on the balcony, and all he had was 2 words. "I'm sorry." I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just nodded, stood up, and walked to our bedroom. I packed a bag for me and one for Leo. I called my mother and told her we were coming. Then I sat on the edge of the bed and waited for morning. When Leo woke up, I told him we were going to Grandma's for a while. He was happy. He loved Grandma's house. He didn't ask why. David was still on the couch when we left. He didn't try to stop me. He didn't follow. He just sat there, staring at nothing, the way he'd stared at the television for months. That was 3 weeks ago. We're still at my mother's house. Leo started at a new school nearby. I'm looking for a job, something part-time, something that feels like mine. I don't know what comes next. I don't know if David and I will talk, or fight, or try to fix what's broken. I don't know if it can be fixed. What I know is this: I spent months making myself smaller, quieter, easier to ignore. I tried to earn love that should have been given freely. I believed that if I was patient enough, understanding enough, invisible enough, he'd come back to me. But you can't make someone see you. You can't make someone choose you. And love, I've learned, is not enough. It's never enough. Not without trust. Not without respect. Not without someone who looks at you and sees you, really sees you, and decides every single day that you're worth staying for. I don't know if David ever saw me. I don't know if he ever really tried. But I see myself now. And for the first time in months, that feels like enough.